Style Center. I'm Devin Dion, and I have the lovely pleasure of interviewing local designer Tiena
Yes.
Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make sure we spell your name correct. How to spell it?
It's Tiena.
And what is the name of your brand?
It's my first name, Tiena.
Tiena.
Yes.
So everything Tiena.
Yeah, everything Tiena.
So how did you get started in the fashion industry?
Well, I really always loved fashion. It was all I thought about. And I got laid off from work, and I was like, okay, they just got rid of me. Well, I didn't get fired. I was laid off.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, this is time for me to start really pursuing what I really want to do. And so I was on the internet, and I found this school in Little Rock that actually taught garment construction, pattern making, and things like that. And so I reached out to them. I got my income tax return, and I paid yeah, that's the truth. And I drove to Little Rock, and I paid my tuition, and that's how I got started. And I was very inclined because she actually used to make clothes for Hillary Clinton when Bill Clinton was governor, and she went on and started a school.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's not like an official branch, like different locations. It's like
No.
she just started.
She just started the school herself.
And you didn't take out student loans.
No,
you
I
used
did
your
not.
personal finances.
Yes.
So that was really hard because the way you said that.
Yeah, it was hard, because you want to keep going and you want to finish, but I was able to finish it.
So if you don't mind sharing your age, at what age?
Oh, goodness. The age I am right now? Well,
No, when you went to
I started,
school.
I was fully grown with a child and married. So
it's never too late.
No, it's never too late. I was in my early 30s. Yeah.
Oh, girl, I thought you was 21.
No.
You look good.
Thank you.
Have
I was
you-
in my early 30s.
Really? Have you always had a desire to sew?
Yes. I mean, ever since I was a child, but, it's like you see these things on TV and, in being in Memphis, it just seems like it's so much distance between it, and it doesn't seem like it's doable here, but it seemed like at the time that I decided to do it, a lot of things were taking place here, and now, especially after doing Memphis Fashion Week, it's been a platform for it. And then also, you have to, with social media, that also creates a platform for you, and you just have to keep pushing it.
So you mentioned Memphis Fashion Week. What's the process of that? Are you in it now?
Well, this year I will be one of the featured designers, and then last year I was a featured designer, and then I did it 2 years prior to that as an emerging designer. And so as an emerging designer, you submit sketches, and you do a maximum of 5 looks, and they pick you based on, if they like what you presented, and if they like what you presented, you create the looks, and then you participate in a runway show.
Okay. I love your honesty. So let's be honest again. How many times did you have to apply to actually get accepted?
I applied twice. The first time I did not get accepted. The second time, the next go around I didn't apply, but then when it was, I guess, I don't remember what year it was, but when it came around again, I went ahead and applied, and then I was accepted. I was actually pregnant when I was accepted.
Really?
Yes.
So your baby was your good look.
Yeah. But they didn't even know it. They didn't know it. I just applied, but I was actually pregnant. And I had her in the middle of creating the clothes for the show. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
That's very dramatic.
I know, but it all worked out. Yeah.
Speaking of something being dramatic, you just got back from New York, correct?
I did. It doesn't even seem like it was 2 weeks ago, but I just got back from New York Fashion Week.
I ended up seeing you in the studio at the lab.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to see you, and you was like, oh, it's nothing. I showed in New York Fashion Week.
Well,
it's
I
nothing.
guess it's kind of like you've done runway shows before, and, New York, not to downplay the experience or anything like that, but when I was there, I was working so hard, and it's not like, it doesn't feel, glamorous or excited, because you are working. You're working extremely hard to make sure that everything is exactly the way that you want it to be, that everything looks perfect. And so it's not easy at all. It's very hard because you're on a larger platform, more eyes are on you, you have more critiques, and more criticism. And so it's not like it was, I hate to say this because it sounds so bad, but it was just a lot of hard work. And it was like, once the show was over, it was like, okay, what just happened? Did I just really do New York Fashion Week? Because it was so much work. I mean, I was working up until it was time for me to leave to go to the venue for the show. So it was a lot of work.
So you really couldn't live in the moment because you're trying to make sure everything was
done.
Yes.
Exactly. That's the perfect way to state it. I was working so hard, I really couldn't process. Okay, you're in New York. Okay, you're about to show at New York Fashion Week. It was like, actually, I didn't really process what was going on until I got back home and kind of decompressed. Because it was so busy. It was really busy.
And making it to New York Fashion Week, and you said you really didn't process it. So you don't feel like you're successful?
People have different measures of success. I guess I would feel successful if, the brand was sustainable, because nothing is promised to you. You can do all this work and you don't know the outcome is a true act of faith. That, okay, I'm doing something that is completely inside of me and I don't know what the outcome is going to be. So I don't know how I would say like I've arrived. I don't feel like I've arrived, but I do feel like, yes, I'm thankful that I'm in a position where I can create the things that I want to create. Yes, I'm thankful that people are receiving the things that I create. I'm thankful that I have a platform to create the things that I want to create, and that at this moment I can keep pushing forward, to push the line and to create the things I feel like God has called me to do.
Well, patience is the key. And with customers, they don't understand the process behind it.
Right.
And when you started to really put your all into fashion, after losing your job, you got laid off, you went to school, you came back, that was your breaking point. And you put your all.
Absolutely.
You threw it all on the line, put it all on the table, and just left it there.
Yes, I did.
So for those who are trying to come up, would you suggest they go about it a different way, or is no time limit?
I really couldn't give a specific answer because everybody's path is different. I think for me, I should have probably did a lot of more preparation, because it was just like, okay, I'm brewing behind the scenes, but nobody knew about it. It was like, okay, I didn't know, Tiena, you were interested in fashion and you were sewing and making clothes. It was just like, I just came out like, ta-da! Here's my clothes. Yeah, here's my clothing line. I didn't do a build-up of it, to say, okay, here's what I'm working on. This is what I'm going to be putting out. It was just like, here's everything. I was working behind the scenes and I didn't show a lot of the process leading up to me actually launching the line. So I would say for anybody who's wanting to launch a line, do a lot of preparation, but also let people know what you're up to, because you're not doing it for sport. You want to, have sales and create a brand that is self-supporting, because you have to put a lot of money in up front to even put it out there.
Well, don't change that channel just yet. Stay tuned. We have more from Memphis Fashion Week featured designer Tiena. back to the Style Center. I'm still here with the lovely Tiena Gwen. We're going to get into New York Fashion Week and your total experience.
Okay.
So how did you actually get to be a part of that?
When I did Harlem Fashion Run with Brandis Daniels, that actually gave me a little bit of exposure, and a person that puts on shows in New York reached out to me to be in the New York show, in a New York show.
Oh, so he just like hit you up like from a business card, online, social media?
No, it was actually, because I have on my page a way to get in touch with me through email.
Mm-hmm.
So he sent me an email, and of course, you receive emails, people reach out to you on social media, and you're like, I don't know if this is for real, because he was like, do you want to be in New York Fashion Week? I'm like, of course, but, I'm not taking the email seriously, but he persistently kept reaching out to me. And so I finally agreed to make a long story short. I committed to be in the show, and that's how it started.
The rest was history.
Yes.
So the behind the scenes, live in the moment, actually being a part of New York Fashion Week, you're showing.
Yes.
What is the process like? Are you styling your own models? Did you get to pick your own models?
Well, I arrived there a week early. My show was Sunday, February the 11th. And I got there a week early so I can do a fitting with the models. And if I didn't do the fitting, then I would have to fit the day of the show, which I didn't want to do. So I got there a week. They had already had models picked out for me, but I still had models that I could pick from if they did not fit, my particular sizing. And so I picked my models, did the fitting and everything. Once you do that, you correct the clothes. Then you have to have your own shoes. You have to have your own accessories, all of that. But the show itself, they do the hair, they do the makeup, but everything else you're responsible for.
So did you come to New York? Did you go to New York with your shoes, or you had to go shopping last minute?
You could rent shoes from the group that was putting on the show, which I did not want to do. So I
can only imagine.
Yes. So I brought a suitcase full of shoes from Memphis. Unfortunately, the models had small feet. Like here, most of the time, the shoes that I have, the models can fit. But there, they had small feet. So I found a store that was going out of business, and I bought 8 pairs of shoes for $95.
Oh, that's good for New York.
Yes,
now.
God, it's good. I was so happy.
I'm so happy that you're so honest and you're so humble and you tell the truth. You're not like, I'm going to get them Chanel, going to get them Gucci.
No, I mean, they were name brand shoes. They were like Vince Camuto shoes,
But you got them for a steal.
I did, because the store was going out of business and they were trying to get rid of them. So the first pair was $25, and he was like, the second pair would be $10. I was like, I'm buying several shoes. Can each subsequent pair be $10? He was like, sure, I'll work that out with you. So I was like, thank you.
So it was working in your favor.
Yes, it was.
Did you get to see any celebs, or did you deal with any celeb stylists, hairdressers?
Yes. Well, the hairdressing team was with Ted Gibson. And so it's just like you see on TV, it's a room with a whole lot of hairstylists and makeup artists. They're doing the run through of how all the models are going to be styled, how the makeup is going to be done. It's a very thorough process with a lot of people involved working behind the scenes, just for that few minutes on the runway.
And from that first email, when he offered you to show in New York Fashion Week, how long did it take you to actually create a line? Or did you already have the production going on the clothes?
No, I started from scratch. When he reached out to me, because the New York shows are in line with the fashion calendar. So in February, they show the fall-winter collection. So I showed a fall-winter 18 collection. And so when he reached out to me, I had to get the collection done within a month.
And that's not a lot of time, because
no, it wasn't.
You have to make your own pattern.
I made my own patterns. I had to find the fabrics. I had to get fabric made, because when you get fabric made, you have to send over files, and the files have to be correct,
Yes.
And it's a lot of back and forth to make sure that everything is done, correctly. So, I really pushed myself, to the bone, trying to make sure that everything was done.
And I just want everyone out there to really understand Tiena is legit. Like, I saw this coat I fell in love with. You showed in New York. It had the fur and the fabric, like the detail on it was amazing. And you actually created that.
Actually, that particular coat was a moth. I need to post it on social media because a lot of people have been asking, like, where did this coat come from? I found a picture of a moth on Pinterest, and I blew up the print on the moth, and that's what the fabric is on that coat. It's the print of a moth, and so the head of the moth is like furry, and so that's why I put like the fur lapel on the coat. So that's where that comes from.
Was that like your wow factor? Did you like?
Yeah, that was the finale piece. Yes.
That's what definitely drew me.
Out to you. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you actually from here?
Yes, born and raised.
So how would you compare Memphis fashion to New York fashion?
The weeks, Memphis Fashion Week to New York Fashion Week. Well, New York Fashion Week is technically it's not for entertainment. It's more so for business, to promote your line with media, with press, with buyers, with stylists. It's more so for business. Here, it's really more so, I don't want to make it seem small, the impact that it's having, but, it's a paid show. Anybody can come to the shows, so it has like an entertainment factor to it, but it does create a platform for designers like myself who, starting out, I wouldn't have been able to do New York Fashion Week, but it's like Memphis Fashion Week is a great launching pad to say, okay, let me start where I am.
So you would say the difference with New York and Memphis, New York is paid, and Memphis...
No, New York Fashion Week is more for the business side of fashion. The people that come to the shows are more so buyers, stylists, the media press. It's more for the business side of fashion. You're trying to get accounts to get your clothes in stores.
So it's more official.
Yeah, it's more, I wouldn't say official, but it's more so for the business side of it. As far as Memphis, anybody can come to a show. They're coming, to see a fashion show more so for the entertainment aspects of it, not necessarily to help build this particular designer's business, So that's what I would say the difference is.
Well, I'm so excited to see some of your pieces that you showed in New York. And if you just stay tuned, you will get to see 2 looks from Tiena's Fall and Winter 2018 collection.
Yes.
L3 Media is the Mid-South's premier videography and photography company. We specialize in capturing all of life's greatest moments. Whenever you need talented and professional service for your special events or business, L3 Media is the company for you. You can contact us at all of our social media sites. You can like us on Facebook, check out our website, follow us on Twitter, or always feel free to email us. We are L3 Media, your #1 source for all your videography and photography needs. Give us a call today.
Welcome back to the Style Center. I'm still here with Miss Exclusive, Tiena Gwen, and she's about to show us 2 of her looks from your 2018 fall collection.
Yes.
Model 1.
Brianna is wearing actually an outfit that I dreamed of. It's a custom print that I had made, and the blouse is a cotton silk blend, and the pants is a cotton stretch satin. It's a day to night outfit where you can wear to work, and you can also go out in the evening time on a date, or hang out with your friends. But it's a very versatile outfit that you can wear in a lot of ways with different things and to different events.
And where did you get inspiration for this? I love it.
The inspiration was actually a dream. I dreamed about it. I dreamed about the print, the pants, the blouse. I woke up, I sketched it out, and then I had to take my time on the computer to get every single oval, lined up so I can execute it properly. And that was the inspiration.
So this textile you actually created?
Yes, I had it made by a company, and I don't mind sharing information because it may be something another designer can use. The company is out of New Jersey, and it's Papilio Prints.
Papilio Prince.
Prints, yes.
I love when people share. Like, a lot of people are scared to
Yeah.
tell their secrets, but we help each other grow in
Right.
the industry.
Absolutely, because there's room for everybody.
Yeah, no competition.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next model.
Star is wearing another piece that was shown at New York Fashion Week, and it's just a simple sheath dress, and the drama comes in with the sleeve. It's a balloon sleeve, and it can extend out here, but it's more dramatic when you push it up here. And it's a very versatile dress, just as the other outfit was. You know, you can wear it to work, you can wear it to church, you can wear it out on a date, and, you know, dress it up, or you can dress it down to look more casual.
And everyone loves a good elastic because you can make the sleeve fit your length.
Yes.
I love it.
Thank you.
So what is usually the process for creating a look like stars?
Technically, or like what most designers know, it starts with the idea, and then once you have the idea, then you go into, okay, how do I create this idea? You know, where do I find the fabric? You know, coming up with a pattern to make it look exactly the way it is in your mind.
So if you had to do a time limit, how long would you estimate? Just estimate.
Yeah, it just depends on if you can find the materials to execute the idea. Like the pants and the blouse, it actually took me a long time to execute it to the final look, because okay, I have the idea in my head. You know, you can't buy you know, that particular print out of the store, so let me find a company who can print it for me, and is it gonna look the way that I want it to look on a fabric, you know? And then you have to make sure that everything is lined up. So it depends, you know. Like the red fabric I actually found in store, so that wasn't as difficult. I would say probably a couple days, you know. But the other fabric, from idea to a finished product, you know, it can take weeks.
So, like, as far as designers and you, there's a big difference. A lot of people will give themselves that title and say, I'm a designer, but you're actually the true definition of a designer.
Thank you.
Like, you execute it from the sketch, you do your sample pieces, and do you manufacture your pieces as well?
In the past, I have had a small production run of pieces completed, and now I still want to, you know, go that route because it's a lot quicker to go, you know, with a manufacturer. They can quickly produce pieces. They have their processes down pat. You know, they have someone they can easily. But for me, you know, I don't have the machines or the equipment or the manpower to quickly execute garments. But with the new collection, the goal is to do pre-sale, you know, and then have those pieces manufactured.
So for those pre-sale items, what sizes will you offer?
Well, the dress is more so like a small, medium, large, extra large, which would be like a 2 to 16, and the pants would be, you know, number, so alphanumeric sizes, so a 0 to 2, 4 to 16. Yes.
Right. I'm just so excited right now because talking to someone who calls themselves a designer, and then actually, I can, just speaking with you, I can tell you actually went to school for this.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell the thought process is different from someone who's, oh, let me just buy a pattern from Joann's and let me just do this, throw this together, and this is my collection. It's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference. But let me say this about school. When I went to school, it was just to learn garment construction. It doesn't teach you, you know, about the business side of it. That's a lot of things that, you know, you have to learn on your own and do a lot of research and learn a lot of things, you know, the hard way. But school just is like, okay, how do I take an idea from start to finish, you know, a completed garment? It doesn't teach you the business side of everything.
So when you see a piece of fabric, or you create all patterns, well, you said you found the red in the store.
Yeah, that particular fabric, but it is my pattern.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you from everything to the design, even the pattern, you create.
Yes. Yes, I create my own patterns. I start with the measurements. If I'm not doing a custom piece, then I'll use, like standard measurements for a particular size.
So for any inspiring designer out there, what advice would you give them?
Make sure this is something that you absolutely want to do, because it's not going to be easy. And it's going to take time, It takes time, and don't be so hard on yourself if you do make mistakes, because everything we can learn from, and, it's going to be a continual growing process.
And then you still have to make sure you make a profit off of.
Yes.
You got to get that labor.
Yeah.
You have to, all that time that you spent.
Right. Because it's a balancing act between perceived value of a garment and what actually goes into a garment, because people have to, like, for somebody like myself as an independent designer, I don't have millions of dollars behind me. Like, you go to the store, for instance, like Banana Republic or something, they have hundreds or thousands of stores all over the world. They can easily get a garment made for $20, $25 and sell it for $100 in the store. I don't have that same access of pricing, because I'm not getting thousands or hundreds of thousands of pieces made. I'm only getting a certain amount, like maybe 10 made, and the pricing is going to be very different when you're not only making a certain amount of pieces.
And for those who's interested in getting the items for pre-sale, where can they reach you at?
They can follow me on social media, preferably Instagram at TIENA GWIN, Tiena Gwen. And for news and updates, because they're not for pre-sale yet, I still am working on the process for that. But I do have other items for sale on the website, which is www.ttiena.com.
All right. You have it here with the Style Center.